Kirov reporting.
Hello and welcome. My name is Anthony Albit, this is Racing Hub Digest, and we are ready to go. Today we're gonna talk about what does 50 Shades of Grey means for Christian Horner, who is the best Formula 1 debutant now, why Mercedes car is so bad that they still keep winning, and of course about the first Grand Prix of the 2021 Formula 1 season. I hope you are the same way happy as me here. The season opener race is over and it was amusing.
Fucking hell, yeah.
Let's take a quick look at what happened in the Bahrain Grand Prix and try to understand what all this stuff means in reality.
This will get messy.
Lewis Hamilton won the first Grand Prix of the year by snatching a victory from Max Verstappen's paws.
Give it to me now!
After the race, the Formula 1 community was blown away by the feeling that Mercedes' dominance is over. But was it the thing? Or was it just another wish we are all ready to accept as true? In my opinion, it's nothing but hope. Lewis is still there at his place, and he's really, really good, even with the same level car, which is not apparently. Valtteri Bottas is also at his place, somewhere behind, fighting around 30 seconds away with wind and sand. Speaking of Max Verstappen, in this particular race it looks like everything was in place to win for him. Faster car, risky but better pit stop strategy, second Mercedes, isolated by Bottas somewhere in between two Formula leagues, perfect conditions. What else Max wanted to see over there? Sergio Perez to wait for a Hamilton and then hit him off the track for good? Apparently not. Then what? Lack of skill set. This is the main enemy of Verstappen this year. And this is only in case the Mercedes car is as bad as Toto Wolff is trying to convince us. Hamilton is fighting for his 8th championship title, and he's been doing it since he entered Formula 1 back in 2007. Verstappen, on the other hand, was never competed for the championship. Separate races, sure. He has proven himself already, but the title fight is a very, very different story.
Oh my!
Taking into consideration the specifics of the track in Sahir, let's not be blown away by feelings and just wait until we see what happens after a couple of more races. The midfield looks way closer to each other this year. McLaren, Ferrari, Aston Martin, AlphaTauri, Alpine, almost all closed gaps to each other. Alfa Romeo looks a bit faster than a year before. And if we listen to George Russell, who is saying that Bahrain track is the worst for his car, we can hope Williams can be closer to a midfield, at least with one car. Nothing to say about Haas, really. The team is in Formula 1.
The car was a fucking rocket before.
In any case, I would never call these findings final. As I already said before, we have to wait a bit more. Now, let's move along with all these feelings about the first Formula 1 race and see what has happened over there alongside it. Williams driver George Russell has become a new director of the Grand Prix Drivers Association, following the departure of Romain Grosjean. Well, someone had to be applied there anyways. Why not George? New blood can be a really great boost. I really like George Russell as a driver. I do, but sadly with no perspective so far, especially in Williams. Maybe in GP2 he'll play a more significant part than on track, driving that terrible Williams of his. But To be honest about GPDA, anyone in this role seems to be an improvement after crasher Grosjean. Williams has played down suggestion it could become a Renault B team in Formula 1, with it determined to maintain its independence for the long term. Interesting thing that this news came up before the first season race, and I must say they were right. After looking at Alpine performance, reading all the comments from new Renault bosses, constructors and engineers, well, even I was surprised with their statements. New power unit concepts every year, strange chassis metamorphosis. It looks like guys in Renault are jumping around, car mumbling, okay, good. This we will do as the guy one suggests. And this will go in accordance with the guy 2. And this, and this as Mercedes does. Why I wasn't amazed by Alpine in the first race? Well, that is why. Interesting, for how long are these guys really planning to stay in Formula 1? I know, according to team bosses, for eternity. The eternity of struggle. Sebastian Vettel has named his new Formula 1 car after the original James Bond girl, Honey Rider, best served with a pink WT helmet, martini, vodka and olive. And who knows what else. Maybe the helmet goes with the pink trousers and bra. Lewis Hamilton says he will continue to knee ahead of Formula 1 races as part of the ongoing push to achieve global racial equality. As knight, he probably has to do it anyways. Good luck to Lewis in achieving all his goals. Fernando Alonso assures that he did not hear the question, claiming that he did not mean that he is better than Hamilton and Verstappen. For real? Knowing Fernando, I'd say it was exactly what he meant. This story is also funny because people are so fragile these days. So fragile.
Ow, fuck. Ow, Daddy, my pussy hurts.
Try not to overtake on track. Say only what others want you to. Do what others expect. Be a part of a herd. Obey. Trust me, if there was no reaction from around, Alonso would never take his words back. And you know why? Because he wasn't wrong, probably.
I'm a best.
I am best of the best.
I'm a best of the best of the best.
I'm best of the best.
And I'm a best of the best.
Esteban Ocon says Renault's new power unit is the best engine he has ever driven in Formula 1. With all these politically correct interviews, when drivers speaking as robots, what else can you say after finishing 13th?
GP2 Engine. GP2.
That your power unit is a piece of shit? Having Alonso as a teammate? Never. Again, I'm really sorry, Esteban. Engine stories aren't your field of expertise here. Nico Hulkenberg has confirmed he will take on a dual reserve driver role this year for both the Aston Martin and Mercedes teams. And good for him. At least choosing Hulkenberg as a reserve driver, we won't see these fantastic stories when a team's reserve pilot was replaced by someone else from a side. Someone else like Hulkenberg. Red Bull team boss Christian Horner says that track limits rules should not be shades of grey after the Bahrain Grand Prix controversy. Wait! Isn't it another different story I hear over here? Pretty sure it is. I watch Formula 1 since 1992. I was a small child back then, but I cannot recollect any memories of so poor judging in sport. And today everything is different. It looks like we are getting back in time in some areas, so why not get back a bit further?
What is fury? Long is fury.
Which literally means what is permissible for Jupiter may not be permissible for a bull. An old phrase, I know, today we call it double standards. So what does Mr. Horner is talking about? For such an educated person who uses double standards almost everywhere he can, Red Bull Racing boss sounds a bit silly. Or not? Oh, sorry, I forgot it was about Hamilton and Max. Not about Max and some junky one on the track. In this case, of course, sure, with Max it is always a different story, right? I love it. Formula 1 sporting director Ross Brown has praised AlphaTauri driver Yuki Tsunoda for his impressive debut in Bahrain, claiming the Japanese youngster is the best rookie Formula 1 has had for years. The thing Ross Brown forgot to tell about the best rookie for years is simple, and it is called equipment. AlphaTauri looks like the fourth, if not the third power these days. At least we've seen it in Bahrain. Just fantastic, what a comparison. Charles Leclerc, George Russell, Mick Schumacher, God forgive Mazepin, Latifi, Stroll, and others who are forced to drive breaking apart cars in their debut years. All these guys and Tsunoda. Don't get me wrong, personally I was impressed by his driving, but let's be honest, AlphaTauri is not even near to Haas or Williams in any terms. Ross Brown wanted to compare Tsunoda with Sir Hamilton, who's never been driving anything close to, let us say, Minardi. Oops! Fernando Alonso's hopes of scoring points in his Formula 1 return in Bahrain were wrecked by a sandwich wrapper getting lodged into one of his brake ducts. Let me ask you a question here. What exactly did you expect from Fernando Alonso's return? But really, fight for the championship with Alpine team? No. It's a meme land from our good old Spaniard. Mercedes believes it has no strength over Red Bull in Formula 1 this year, despite winning the season-opening Bahrain Grand Prix. That translation: we won there, but there is nothing to talk about. We are weak.
Is your birthday October, November, or December?
As I told you earlier, don't you believe it yet. While track in Bahrain looks like it was built for Red Bull cars, Lewis Hamilton was, in fact, controlling the whole race and won it, with no surprises for me at all. Well, it looks like this is all for today. Once again, congrats to all of you, the new Formula 1 season has begun. As usual, please do not forget to subscribe, like or dislike this video, leave some comments, and ring the bell. Thank you for being with me today. See you next time.